Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, this bill was read for the first time on this floor on Wednesday, 15th of May, 2025. The armed forces of Nigeria remain the cornerstone of our sovereignty and national security. They have stood gallantly in defense of our nation, from combating insurgency and terrorism to peacekeeping across Africa. However, the existing Armed Forces Act, rooted in a 1960s military decree and last consolidated in 2004, no longer meets today's realities. The constitutional, operational, and global defense environment has evolved, but our military law has not kept pace. Constitutional alignment and human rights. The bill upholds the supremacy of the Constitution and integrates fair hearing and due process into military justice. It corrects such provision as Section 173, ensuring that administrative reports like boards of inquiry no longer serve as convictions without trial. 2. Child protection and international obligations. It prohibits enlistment of persons below 18 years, aligning Nigeria with the Child Rights Act and international humanitarian standards. 3. Clear chain of command. It enforces the President's constitutional authority as Commander-in-Chief while vesting day-to-day operational command in the Chief of Defense Staff, eliminating ambiguities and strengthening civilian oversight. 4. Modernized military justice. The bill redefines offenses, ensures proportionate punishment, and criminalizes undue command interference in court-martial, guaranteeing independence and fairness within the system. 5. Legal empowerment and institutional efficiency. Qualified military lawyers will now be able to represent the armed forces in civil courts, reducing legal costs and delays. A dedicated litigation fund will support this. 6. Economic realism and morale. Outdated fines like 200 naira or 500 naira are replaced with percentage-based penalties tied to salary levels. The bill also extends protections and rights to non-commissioned officers to boost morale and fairness. Many democracies, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, including the United States, United Kingdom, and South Africa, have modernized their military laws to ensure justice, accountability, and professionalism. Nigeria cannot afford to lag behind. This bill therefore places our military legal system in step with global best practices and strengthens our reputation in international peacekeeping and defense cooperation. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, the Armed Forces Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2025 is not just a legal update. It is a statement of our national commitment to a disciplined, professional, and accountable military. It guarantees justice within the ranks, enhances command efficiency, and aligns our armed forces with constitutional and international standards. I respectfully urge my distinguished colleagues to support this bill for second reading as we collectively strengthen one of Nigeria's most vital institutions. Mr. President, I so move.
Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, representing Borno South. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I stand to second the lead debate as presented by the Chairman Ami, and the presentation, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, has aptly captured the reason and the background behind this repeal and reenactment bill on the Armed Forces Act Cap A20. As he said, Mr. President, it's a long time and there is a need to, as we evolve in our democracy, we also align all other laws, especially the armed forces, to be in line with modern democracy, rule of law. This is what this bill is trying to do, to update the laws, subject the armed forces to civil rule, and also improve on human rights, protection, and others, and efficiency. So I urge my colleagues to support the second reading of this very important bill.
I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished senators, what this bill essentially seeks to do or achieve, or the lacuna that it seeks to cure, is that one, it desires to bring our military laws not only in tandem with international best practice,